got a blank.
This is Penn Woods interviewing for the Oklahoma Living Legends in May of 1982 at the Tinker family reunion in Pawhuska, and I'm visiting with Ms. Willie Blake. And why don't you, Willie's your given name, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Now, your married name was what?
Kincannon.
Kincannon.
I was Willie Kincannon from Duncan, Oklahoma.
Willie Kincannon Blake, is that correct? And why don't you tell us a little bit about where, how, if you were born here, or if not, what brought you to Oklahoma? What day in Oklahoma?
I was born in the Indian Territory of Oklahoma.
What brought your parents here?
Well, they just migrated here when they were young people.
I see. Were they of Indian origin?
No.
They were not. Neither one of them?
Neither one.
Well, their names were what?
Kincannon.
I know, but I mean the first name. His first name.
Whit Kincannon, or W.W. Kincannon, from Duncan, Oklahoma.
Oh. Now, were they born in Duncan and came over here, or were they?
I was born 14 miles east of Duncan, but my parents were both born in Texas.
In Texas, and came here.
Into Oklahoma. No, they didn't ever live up here.
They came to the territory.
Oh, yes.
What brought them to the territory?
Well, they just was hunting someplace where they could make a living.
Mm-hmm.
And my father worked a many a day for 50 cents a day, gathered corn and helped farmers until he could get where he could even rent a place to farm himself.
Right, in the Duncan area.
Yes, in the Duncan area.
Now, were you born there in the Duncan area then yourself?
I was born 14 miles east of Duncan.
East of Duncan, on a farm, I guess.
Well, I guess it was. Well, yes, I think the folks lived there, and Daddy worked for wages out at the time.
They were sharecropping then.
Oh, yes.
How do you recall the farm as you first remember it when you first began to get old enough to remember what was happening?
Well, Daddy was still living on a rented farm, and we were living out, I don't know, probably 15 miles east of Duncan. And I remembered several things when I was about that size, but I don't know if they would.
What are some of the things you remember that far back?
Well, about the best thing I can ever remember was my grandfather coming to visit us. He lived to the north of us, and when we heard somebody hoop and holler, we looked out, and there came Grandfather riding his old sorrel mule, just having fun coming in. And then I started school when I was 6 years old, and we had to walk 3 miles to school.
What was the country school?
Yes, it was called the Payne School.
Payne School. P-A-Y-N-E?
Yeah. What was it?
Named for David Payne?
No, his name was Walter Payne, I think.
Payne. Mm-hmm. Would you describe the school, what it was like?
Well, it was just a one-room school, and my uncle taught it. My Uncle Spence Kincannon.
Yeah. And how many grades did you have?
Oh, dear, I don't know.
How would he handle a one-room school to have that many students?
Well, he had a program that he run every day. That's all I know. And when it came my time to recite, why, he called me up too. Mm-hmm. So that's about all.
Each one at their own level, their own grade level.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
You remember in the school experience any of the things that stand out in your memory?
No, not. The only thing that once a month, we had what we called literary exercise, and this one and that one would get up and make little speeches, or say little speeches that they'd learned maybe out of their primer book. And that's about all. And then played the games that children play at school at recess.
You remember any of them you recited?
We played black man, stealing sticks, and things like that.
Black man.
Well, you choose up sides and run, and if some of the other side catches you, you're a black man, and you have to go to their side.
What about in the literary? What was your favorite sort of thing to recite in the literary?
Oh, I couldn't say. Then I was, most too young to remember or have any particular, but I always liked spelling. I didn't like arithmetic, and I never studied as much as I should have.
Did you have spelling bees?
Oh, yes. Every Friday evening.
Have a spell down.
Yeah, we'd have a spell down. Choose up sides and have a spell down.
How'd you come out? Were you ever winners?
Well, I always made good grade in spelling. But after I married, if I wanted to spell a word, if I went right on and took care of it the first time I tried it, I was okay. But if I got to one, now did I spell that right or not? Well, I had to go get the dictionary to straighten me out.
Did you go through all the grades in the...
I only went through the 8th grade.
Through the 8th grade, but were they all in that schoolhouse?
Oh, no. No, I went to school in Wheeler County, Texas. We lived in West Texas 10 months, and I went to school in Wheeler County, and that's just about all I can tell you about it. We had to walk about 4 miles and a half to school then.
What about, when did you go? You went back to Texas and then came back here?
No, this was the first time I ever lived in Texas.
Oh, I see.
In 1908, we drowned it out. I don't know how many times my father's crop was underwater.
That was here.
No, it was in Stevens County.
Yeah.
Stevens County, Oklahoma.
Yes.
And he said, well, and then Mother and us children were, some of us was sick all the time with chills, malarial. And Daddy said, well, he said he either had to move us or bury all of us, so we moved to West Texas. And we lived 10 months out there.
Why did you come back?
We dried out. We didn't have a crop. We had one cloud come that just hailed, awfully big hails. You could even see where they hit in the dark garden, and that's all the moisture we had. So we went out in November of 1908 and came back in August or 1st of September in 1909.
Rained out here and dried out in Texas?
Yeah. Almost starved to death out there.
And then came back.
Oh, yes. Came back to Oklahoma.
Now, when you came back to Oklahoma, did you go back to Duncan or did you come up to this?
We've come back in the Duncan vicinity. We were 7 miles west of Duncan.
And you finished through the 8th grade in the Duncan area then?
Oh, yes.
And then what did you do after that?
Well, what did I do after I finished 8th grade?
Had they discovered oil in Duncan, in that area?
Not then, not yet.
Halliburton had not started active.
Oh, no.
Nearly then.
No, I got married when I was 20 years old, and I was living a part of the time with my husband's folks while he was gone to war for a World War. But I knew at the time that Halliburton moved into Duncan.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
So it was about the time of World War I that
yes,
it started there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And now, what do you recall about the war period? Of course, he was in the war, so you were very closely, had a close connection at least. And what do you recall in the community during the war period that happened?
Well, I worked with the auxiliaries up in the Red Cross and so forth, and just helped my mother-in-law, and when she wasn't able to work. I did the work myself, so I was with them, and then I'd go back out home and stay a few weeks with my own family.
In the auxiliary, what
Well, it was making medic pads, and knitting scarves and socks. I never did knit a sock, but I made several scarves and sleeveless sweaters, things like that for the boys.
Do you recall now after the war? He came back after the war to your husband
to Duncan.
To Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
What happened then after the war? What did you?
Oh well, we had a crash.
Yeah. That was a little later though.
Oh yes, that was later. But we farmed. We farmed, and we had purebred shorthorn cattle, and
that was in Stevens County.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, were your parents still farming there?
It was 7 miles and a half southwest of town. Yes, Daddy farmed for a long time until I don't know just what year he left the farm, but he stayed there on that one place. I think it was about 15, 16 years, and then they moved over west of Duncan, but or west of there. He was on school board for I don't know how many years and years, till he saw all of his children through high school, at least, from me down.
Now, tell about the crash and how it affected you all, how it affected your farming operation.
Oh, mercy me. People, they got where they couldn't borrow money to live on, hardly. And then the money crash and livestock crash, it just we weren't the only ones that it ruined. And it was hard. People.
How many acres were you farming?
Well, I couldn't tell you, Mister, how many acres they had there, but they had a nice little layout. But we still had the least grass for what cattle we had. And then in, let's see what year, the fall of 1925, or the year of 1925, my husband and his father came to the Osage and leased a place, and we moved up here. Willard and the father and mother-in-law came in September, I think it was, and then we didn't come till after the first of the year. We were expecting a new baby, which is Mrs. Burns now, Ruth, and the two children and I landed here the 5th day of January, 1926. We've been in Osage County ever since.
So really, when the financial crash came, you all were up here, weren't you?
We finished it up here.
The what? Yes.
We finished.
Well, yes, but I mean 1928.
Oh yes. Listen, I've been through about 3 of them.
You've been through, which one affected farming the most, though?
Well, I expect it was the one just after the war closed.
The one right after the war.
Yes, because that was terribly hard on everyone. And when we came up here, I don't know, we kind of got our toe holds and we worked hard at it.
Well, there may have been a compensating factor in that oil was being discovered up here about the time of the...
Well, no, it was before we moved up here.
It was before, but what I mean, you were still in the aftermath of
yes.
oil.
Oh, yes.
May have meant that the financial crash may not have had as much effect in this part as it would have in some other places.
No, it's... the people here, of course, the Indians were immensely rich. Now that's all they.
What?
They were just terribly rich, filthy rich.
What were you raising up here? Was it cattle or was it crops?
My husband and I, we had crops and cattle, and he worked awfully hard at both of them.
What were your principal crops?
Oh, was feed, oats and wheat and stuff like that, you know. We wasn't not much row crop. And we just hay, alfalfa.
When did you begin to move from the animal using the mule and such into the mechanical farming? Was that after you came here?
Well, immediately after, and he got tractors, and we didn't do much teamwork.
Yes. Did you all start off by buying tractors, or were tractors leased?
We bought them. We bought them. And
what up in this area, in living up here, how far were you from Pawhuska with your ranch?
The first 2 years we lived in here, we lived out just out about 2 miles from the center of town to the edge of the farm, you know. We leased a farm for 2 years there, and then we moved about 17 miles north of there and lived, I think we lived about 13 years on that one place. And in the meantime, the men, my father-in-law, my husband and my father-in-law bought a place, and then they dissolved partnership, and we moved, I expect 20 miles then on north, up within 5 miles of the Kansas line, we were 5 miles south of Elgin, Kansas.
What was the most exciting thing that happened to you while you were living up here that you can think of?
Oh, my friends, there were a lot of exciting things. I couldn't put my
name a few of them.
I just couldn't. I just don't know where to start. And but we worked hard. We had a good life. On Saturday nights, we'd go dancing.
Oh, you did. Where'd you go?
To Elgin, Kansas. We had a family club for 2 or 3 years, and then they just they kind of just dropped out of that, and one person owned the place where we danced.
What kind of music were you dancing to?
Oh, old-timey music. The Lawson family had an orchestra in their own family, the mother and father and 3 boys.
And you danced to their music?
Oh, yes.
What was your favorite number there? Everybody's got a favorite number.
Tennessee Waltz.
Tennessee Waltz. Yeah. That's good.
She did. We had lots of beautiful music.
Well, that's certainly why.
And they square danced and round danced, like.
They were basically the country music of that.
Oh yes.
That did you have any favorite? What were your favorite bands of that period? Radio was just coming in.
Oh, well, you know, the big bands like Glenn Miller and...
That was a little later.
Oh, yes.
Later.
But, of course, we never got to go to any of those. But we went to several Bob Wills.
Did you? Tell about Bob Wills, the band. He was, of course, well known out of Tulsa, particularly.
Oh, yes. Yes, we've gone to his music a lot of times.
Did you dance in the old? What's the name of the theater that they are in Tulsa?
No, we never did go to Tulsa. It was too far away from home. No, we never did go too far away. But whenever his band would come close, 30, 40 miles, sometimes we would go there, and he was in Elgin several times.
Yes,
You got a crowd every Saturday night there, as much as the hall would hold.
Well, he's at least credited with the beginning of Western swing.
Mm-hmm.
San Antonio Road, Take Me Back to Tulsa.
Oh, yes, many of them.
What other events do you think about that stand out in your memory while you're on the farm?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, the baseball. Elgin had a wonderful baseball team. Every Sunday afternoon, we would go up to Elgin. See, we were only 5 miles from Elgin. We'd go up to Elgin and have a real ball game, baseball game. And that's about all of our...
Was that a community team or a high school team?
Community, that little town there. And the boys in the neighborhood in that little town there, they had a team that was hard to beat.
Did you have any sons?
I have one son.
One son.
William Harry Blake, and he lives at Elk City, Kansas.
Oh, Did he play baseball?
No, he was too young then to play baseball. That is, to be on the team. And then when he finished high school here at Pawhuska, and then he went to Tulsa and worked in stockyards down there a while. And then, of course, the World War II came along, took him.
Did he come to this reunion?
No, he didn't, but he was at my home last night. We had a mini reception there, and he was down last night.
Is your family, where is the, where in your family is the Tinker connection, or is it your son-in-law?
It's my son-in-law, Ruth's husband.
So she married into it.
Yeah, she married into the...
You're an in-law into it.
Or outlaw, whichever you want to call it.
Or outlaw.
Yes, yes. And...
Are you a granddaughter?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm the only granddaughter.
You are.
She is.
Your name is what?
My name is Alice Burns, now Thomas.
Alice Burns Thomas. So you're Ruth Burns and their daughter. And you're in New York now.
I live in New York.
What are you doing there?
My husband and I have language schools in California and New York. And we
you do?
And we teach languages to big international corporations.
Oh, do you really? Your full name is what now?
Alice Burns Thomas.
Alice Burns Thomas.
Uh-huh.
What languages do you teach?
I teach all languages.
Do you really?
I teach all languages. You know, she's so modest about her stories, and I think something that we were just talking about last night. We were having a big dinner at the table, and I was telling everyone at the table about how I can remember practically all summer long, well, from the late summer on, she had 12 or 15 people to feed. She got up early in the morning. She was a full partner in this whole operation. And, you know, modern women think that they are doing so good to have careers and so forth outside of the home, but she was a fantastic manager. And she up early in the morning cooking and dishes all day, and a garden that must have been an acre and a half that she took care of the books and the bills for the ranching business, and it's really incredible how she managed all of that, and raising a family besides, and looking after relatives all over the state. She managed to do all of it. It's incredible.
Do you recall any of the stories or experiences she may have told you that maybe she has overlooked offhand that you might relate, or we might ask her to relate? I remember her telling me stories about my mother when my mother was little, and how they were so far out on the farm, so far away from the doctor or anything. And just about the time they'd get a little bit ahead, one of the kids would break an arm or a leg or something, and they'd have to rush into town.
Yeah, Ruth had her arm broken 3 times.
Right.
Yeah.
How'd you get into language school? Into the language school business?
Well, I started out in education. It's really from my husband. My husband developed a method for teaching languages.
Oh.
And
what is that method?
It's his own method. It's just a way that he has of teaching languages very quickly and very easily.
Is it what is the basic difference in technique, though, that you're talking that he was talking about?
Well, he just has a way of connecting the language so that a person is really thinking in the language right away. He teaches it from the person's first language. It's very difficult to explain.
Do you you say you teach any languages? That covers a lot of things. Where do you, if someone wants to take Swahili or whatever language it might be?
He'd train a teacher to do it, but
he'd train a teacher to do it.
The highest
have to find a teacher who can knows that language.
That's right.
And then trains them in the technique.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
In other words, the technique is the same regardless of what language.
Right.
It's a matter of what you're teaching.
That's right. That's right.
Are you teaching? What's your role in that?
Well, he's kind of the creative end of it, and I'm kind of the business end of it. So we have a partnership too in business.
Yes. And you're teaching where in California?
We have an office in Beverly Hills and in Encino, and we do contracts all over the state, training teachers and.
Where do most of your students come from? Are they adult students for the most part? Or?
Most are adults. All walks of life. We do a lot of work with the entertainment industry, a lot of work with the financial community in New York. Chase Manhattan is
people who may be going over there.
People who are working, people who are either going abroad to work or people who are working with a foreign clientele here in the country.
You came down for the reunion, I guess.
Yes, I wouldn't have missed it.
Are you the only daughter there?
I'm the only granddaughter.
Only granddaughter.
And I'm the only remaining granddaughter on on my father's side.
Well,
yeah, so.
Well, that's very interesting too. We
Yes,
have people from all over the
country
attending this reunion.
Yeah.
Do you think of anything else we ought to say, Miss Blake? While we were talking.
Oh, I don't think so.
You want to defend yourself or anything?
No,
I think she should tell about her golden wedding anniversary that she had. It was
my husband and I we lived our 50th wedding anniversary out, and we had 187 guests
from all over.
Oh, from all over the whole country and everywhere.
Where was that?
In 1968.
68.
We were married 60 years before he passed away. He was a hard-working man.
He died in 78.
Yes.
That's 4 years ago.
April, 70 years.
Yeah.
78.
It's certainly been nice to visit with both of you, and it's been a real pleasure. It's
Thank you.
very nice event.
I think it's a wonderful thing for you to be doing.
Oh, I think so. Have you enjoyed the day?
Oh, very much. It's been real nice.
It's just sure been nice. I enjoyed it so much. I've seen so many people
I bet you have.
that I knew and haven't seen for quite some time from just most everywhere.
Well, thank you very much. I sure appreciate it.
Thank you.